Hello and welcome to Dad's Job Podcast. This is your host, Adam Leverbarrow, and I'm joined by co-host, Rob Horton. Mate, how are we getting on? We all good?
Very well. Did you forget my last name?
No. Just usually Rob and Callum, but we've got no Callum this week. Callum has bowed us. He's gone to see McBusted. Of all the things to bail on us for.
I mean, do you think McBusted are like this generation's what are they called? Do whatever you want, do whatever you like.
Status quo.
Yeah, are they like our generation's status quo? McFly and Busted. They kind of like fit in that kind of like dad's air guitar kind of like thing. We're going to grow old with McBusted. We're going to grow old with McFly, mate. They're going to be our like dad's band, where we're like they had a few toe tappers, though, didn't they?
Yeah, to be fair, they did have a few toe tappers, and did see 5 were doing their tours, weren't they? So
that's a little bit different, mate. That's a little bit different. I'm talking about like actual bands. I'm not talking about like boy groups. We all know there's only one boy group.
Musicians.
Anyway. Yeah. There's only one boys group anyway, isn't there?
Well, what's that then?
E17.
Oh God.
I used to love E17. Oh, great.
No, well, judging on one of the music quizzes when you was doing it and you were singing all the lyrics.
Yeah, man, I used to love E17. Oh, great. I love the Christmas song as well.
Oh, what one's that? I can't remember. What is it?
Stay Now.
Oh, is it? Well, I ain't going anywhere.
Oh yeah. No, it's a good song.
Good fun.
It's not actually a love song, you know that? You know, it's not actually a love song, that. It's not actually a love song, that.
What, Stay Now?
Stay isn't a love song.
What's it about then?
I mean, it's how we've taken it as an audience, but he actually wrote it for his brother who committed suicide, and it was like a song for his brother. And when it was released, it became a love song because it kind of like had that duality about it. But it was originally a love letter to his brother after he committed suicide 30 years ago. So there you go.
Yeah,
I've never listened to it the same since I heard that.
Yeah. That's a bit like a Gary Barlow's song, isn't it? Let Me Go. Yeah,
really?
It's quite upbeat, isn't it? Yeah, so I love that song. But then when he done a documentary on it, he said it was about his daughter that died or something, or he had a miscarriage. And he wrote about the daughter basically telling him to move on with his life, stop dwelling. It was like, oh my God, that's mad.
Yeah, Gary. I mean, everyone has to heal, don't they, in their way, I guess. And if that's the way that he,
I love that song though. But now again, that's when you hear the true meaning of it. It's like, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say love you.
Yeah. So okay. So what's your family goals this week? Obviously, we've got a big evening tomorrow, haven't we?
Yeah. So I suppose I haven't really got any like goals per se. It's more about gearing towards tomorrow. Obviously Halloween, big day.
Big Halloween, isn't there?
Yes, we are. It's been a little bit tapered this year because Kelly's the real driving force behind all of this, you know. And so with Kelly being a little bit out of action at the moment, it's not been quite as it usually has been. But it's going to be, you know, we've got all the things that we need. The kids are going to, you know, Leia's going to dress up. Danny's going to do the managing here at the fort, and we're going to go around and do some, you know, where we live is quite a nice place to do Halloween and a bit of trick or treating. So the community is normally pretty good for it, isn't it? So yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. But we have got a good track record with Halloween. Danny doesn't dress up anymore. But in terms of what he used to, you know, some of the things that he used to dress up as, you know, he was really like, he's like a real benchmark of like good Halloween costumes. You know, he's been everything from George from It, Georgie, Oh my God, he was great. He was great as Evil Georgie. But then he's also been like the Goblin King from Labyrinth as David Bowie. He's been Edward Scissorhands. He's been a Ghostbuster. He's had some incredible. I think he did Darth Maul one year. Like he's just had some incredible costumes. So he's like the real benchmark. Alea is she enjoyed it last year, but this year she's like really invested. And so tomorrow she's going to be Maleficent.
Oh, really?
Channeling the Evil Queen. So you know that's going to be really good as well. But yeah, I think some of the magic of Halloween is a little bit tarnished this year because it hasn't been quite the same because Kelly hasn't been able to do a lot of the things that she enjoys, and that kind of like it kind of like takes some of the enjoyment away for me personally anyway, because you know it's nice seeing sort of Kelly in her element. So
yeah, well, it hasn't stopped her buying stuff on Amazon off the sofa, is it?
Yeah, man. Listen, if me and Kelly were playing our own game, she'd be absolutely smashing me right now. That's 6-0. But you know what? If the trainers make her happy, mate, live your best life, isn't it? So yeah, she's got an Adidas Gazelle Kink, I think. So, I mean, they're a solid trainer. They're a good trainer. But...
She's getting the Letterland crepes, isn't she? From last week.
God, honestly, every colour. So, but yeah, so that's us this week. What about you, mate?
Yeah, just same old really. I think we've just been gearing towards tomorrow. It's funny because Kerry wanted to ask Connie what she wanted to do for Halloween and what she wanted to dress up as, and she wanted to dress up as a Peppa Pig witch after watching Peppa Pig. Bought the dress, bought the outfit and everything, and then literally this week she's gone full on Gabby's doll's house, and she's like, I want to go as Gabby's doll's house and go as a Pandy. And I was like, Pandy's a cat, by the way, those that don't know. So yeah, so it's she wants to go as a cat again this year. So she's going 2 years on the trot going as a cat.
Yeah.
So yeah, but she's like looking at all the where we live, that all the houses are going full out for it, and the decorations look really good this year. And she's driving past and she's like, "Oh, look at the size of that spider!" And I'm like, "Where?" And he's like, "No, over there on the house." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Yeah, no, so we're really looking forward to it. Because I'm going to be knocking off work a little bit earlier. I'm going to go and take her around because last year I met you guys halfway around on the site, didn't I? So
yeah,
be interesting. An interesting Friday for sure. Yeah, family wise.
Sweets anyway, weren't there?
Things. Yeah, plenty of sweets. I said to Connie this week, I went, "You do realise there's a mummy and daddy tax, right, of the sweets?" And she goes, "No." I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "No, you don't get any sweets." And I was like, "Why?" She goes, "You're not a baby." I was like, "Oh, you're a baby now, are you?"
Like, who's walking you around then, eh?
Yeah, no? That's it. Yeah. Who's stopping you from getting abducted, right? Yeah, me.
Mate, listen, anyone abducted my kids, I'll bring them back. I can tell you that, mate. Jeez.
Oh, mate, yeah. They would like, please.
We apologise.
Well, talking of being a big October for us, let's go straight into it. How good has October been for Arsenal? I mean, talk about Stoptober.
Oh man, alive! That was going to be my intro. You took it from me.
Oh, sorry, dude.
You stole it from me. Can't believe it. I even practiced it in front of Kelly.
All right. Say this didn't happen. We'll reverse it. So, Rob, talk about October. Tell us about Arsenal.
Well, you know, I mean, Adam, they call October Stoptober because it's about giving up bad habits.
That's such a shit line, mate. That's such a shit line, isn't it?
I'm not finished, am I? I'm not finished. They call it October Stoptober because it's about giving up bad habits. And Arsenal have given up conceding goals, haven't they? So it's been a pretty good month for us because we're feeling clean. We've rejuvenated our bodies. We've rejuvenated the body of the team. We're not conceding goals. Hallelujah.
It's raining now.
It's it's not raining goals. Not the Emirates anyway. So yeah, I mean, if we're going to talk about Arsenal for a bit, yeah, I mean, we conceded one shot in the league this month.
One shot in, didn't he?
Yeah, Arsenal
Please tell me
conceded.
it's West Ham.
No, it was, and the thing is, this is how bad it is, right? Even the shot we conceded wasn't really a shot. So there was a cross right at the end of the Crystal Palace game, right? And Raya grabbed the ball the same time that it hit Eddie Nketiah's head. And that was the shot. So Arsenal conceded one shot in the whole of October, and that was the shot, and it was a cross. Do you know what I mean? Look, I'm going to enjoy feeling smug about that, because I think it's a fantastic achievement that Arsenal went a month, something like, I can't remember how many hours it was, but it was like ridiculous amount of hours that a ridiculous amount of minutes, like something like 400 or 500 minutes, I think, since we last conceded a goal. Like the last goal we conceded was like mid-September, I think, against Man City in the league. That's absolutely obscene. I think it was Man City. Did we play Man City or Newcastle first? It must have been Newcastle first and then Man City.
Oh, I think you played Newcastle after, didn't you? And that was the Walter goal, wasn't it?
Yeah. Either way, middle to the end of September was the last time we conceded a goal in the Premier League. So we've gone a whole month, and that could change against Burnley on the weekend. But right now, I'm going to enjoy that, and I'm going to feel really smug about it, because in isolation, that is a fantastic achievement for any club, and it's an incredible achievement for Arsenal. The other thing I'd like to caveat with that as well is it was quite interesting. They were doing an interview with Frank Lampard, and they were saying that because obviously Arsenal are on this, like, they're matching Chelsea's amazing achievement of 15 goals at the moment in the league, and they were interviewing Frank Lampard, and they sort of mentioned it, and they said, could Gabriel and Saliba
imagine having Frank Lampard as manager?
No, it was but he was talking about Chelsea, to be fair, and he was saying that, they're doing a great job, but to be compared on their level, they'd have to win a couple of Premier Leagues and the Champions League first. And he was trying to obviously, rile people up the wrong way or whatever. But he is right. For an Arsenal, for Gabriel and Saliba to be considered the most dynamic duo in Premier League history or anything like that, they'd have to win something. But at the moment, I don't think, or I hope anyway, that that's not Gabriel and Saliba's mindset right now, because what I think would be a better way of framing it would be that right now Arsenal are chasing potentially the best defensive performance ever in Premier League history, and I think that is a much better way of looking at it. Arsenal aren't looking to define themselves as, or Gabriel and Saliba, Timber, Calafiori, they shouldn't be looking to define themselves as Premier League legends this year. That's ridiculous. Of course, they've got to win a couple of Premier Leagues and a Champions League. That's layman's, right? That's an obvious thing to say, right? That's just a clickbait thing. But if Arsenal can do it, let's say Arsenal get 14, right? That is beyond dispute. The best, if it's done. And I would love to see it done, but I think we're getting ahead of ourselves. But if it is done, it is without dispute the best defensive performance in Premier League history across 38 games. And that can't be challenged. And so I think that's what, if I'm Big Gabs and I'm Saliba, I'm Timber and I'm Calafiori, that is what I want. I want to be the best defence ever in the Premier League, performance-based wise. Gabriel might never make a Premier League all-time 11, right? I just don't think he will, because I think there's too much but if we look at the end of his career, I'm not sure whether he'll win enough Premier Leagues or etc. 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 But, and that's if he wins any. But in isolation, if Arsenal can do 15 or less, they can at least match or better the best defensive performance in Premier League history. That is something that is undisputable. And like I said, I'm not sure if they can do that, but at the moment they're doing a fantastic job. And it would be incredible.
How many goals have you conceded this season?
3.
What, in all competitions?
I don't think we've conceded in the Champions League. I don't think we've conceded in the Champions League. Let me check.
How many did you concede last season?
I think. Oh yeah. Okay.
All right. So you conceded 34 goals last season.
What about in the league?
That's in the Premier League.
Oh, that's in the Premier League. Okay, sorry.
And this season, you've conceded 3.
Yeah. We didn't concede anything in the Champions League yet.
Season before, you conceded 29.
We didn't concede anything in the Champions League yet. So we've conceded 3 goals in all competitions this year so far. I mean, that's incredible. That's remarkable in itself. So I am feeling a little bit smug because I think October is a great achievement, but it doesn't really mean anything in the long term. It's just nice to be able to gloat about it right now. But I would love to be able to say that my club has the undisputable, like Chelsea. That as a defender, you're a defender. As a defender, that would be the biggest flex. I could, that's like we got the best defense ever in the Premier League, performance-based wise. I'm not going to sit here and say that Saliba or Gabriel are better than John Terry or Van Dijk or Rio Ferdinand or all the other big guns that you would normally throw out. That's far too premature. But they're both still young. Van Dijk didn't join the Premier League. I think he was still playing for Celtic at like 26. Did he join Southampton when he was 27 or something like that? Is that right? No. Did he join Liverpool when he was 27?
I think he joined Liverpool when he was 27, yeah.
Yeah, so he didn't join Liverpool until he was 27. Look what he's achieved in that space of time. Gabriel has been learning at Arsenal. Saliba has been growing at Arsenal. We've still got them. They're both still under I think Big Gabs has just turned 26.
Yeah.
So, Timber's young, Calafiori's young, Saliba's younger than all of them, I think. So, in 5 years' time, what's to say that these guys haven't achieved a madness? But right now, I think we should be enjoying the ride. So.
Yeah, that's how you've got to enjoy the ride. You've got to enjoy it. But as we know, that we're only 9 games in the Premier League season, and we've still got 29 games left, and loads of points on offer at the moment. Who did you lose to this season?
Liverpool. Remember, that's the Bosley banger.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the free kick, wasn't it?
I mean, and that's the thing. Like every goal that we conceded, I said this last week. Every goal we've conceded have been good goals. Szoboszlai banger. Walter Marde, incredible header. And by the way, what a header of the ball he is. He did one against Spurs last night as well. And then we had the Haaland wrong foot in Gabriel, which in itself is an achievement this year. So all the goals that we've conceded have been really good goals. And even yesterday, Arsenal rode their luck against Brighton and still managed to come away. Great performance from Kepa because the defence was a little bit shaky until Ben White was obviously trying to get back into game time. Mascara did a good job, but he was a little bit sloppy in places, which is unlike him. MLS hasn't been playing, so they're all trying to play for game time fitness, aren't they? And even then, Norgard sitting in front of the defence isn't Zubimendi, but still came out with a clean sheet against a Brighton team that wanted to win. They wanted to go to the quarterfinals. It wasn't like, Liverpool, who played the third team, and then Arne Slot had the cheek to moan about squad depth after he spent 450 million in the summer, or 350 million, whatever it was. Like, I haven't got any time for that. I'm glad that Arteta has the squad depth, and I'm glad that Arteta tried to win the game, even with the young boy up front. I can't remember his name, but we played with like an 18-year-old up front, and that boy ran ragged.
Yeah.
And as far as the weekend goes, it was pretty much a perfect weekend for us. Arsenal win, City, Liverpool, and Chelsea lose.
Yeah.
Although all of a sudden, Man United is starting to look a bit good.
Yeah, Man United are 6th at the minute.
And they've won 3 on the bounce. That boy might be able to get his hair cut.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. He's got. Who else has he got? He's got. I think who their next 2 fixtures are. I think it's winnable, isn't it? I think they got Bournemouth. I think one of them. But in fact, Bournemouth. I'm looking at the table now. Like Bournemouth are 2nd.
I know. Bournemouth are looking decent, though, aren't they?
Sunderland are 4th.
So hang on. So Man United have got Nottingham Forest next, and that's a winnable game, isn't it?
Yeah.
You wouldn't have said so last season, but that's a winnable game right now.
Yeah.
I don't know who their next fixture after that is. Hang on, let me just check. Oh, Tottenham away.
Yeah, see, Tottenham are 3rd at the minute.
Thing is, though, Tottenham defensively are a little bit suspect, but they're basically like Brentford were. Bit suspect defensively, but all out attack.
Yeah.
So it could be that could be a good game, because Man United all of a sudden they've got a little bit of backbone defensively.
Yeah, I mean, they've only conceded 7 goals, Spurs, this season.
Oh, have they?
But they've been firing goals left, right, and centre, which is the hard thing to swallow. But yeah, the Premier League this season is just mental, Yeah.
But it's been like that the last couple of years, though. You say that, like this year, Bournemouth and Sunderland are like surprising everyone. But last year we were like, what the managers? And then last year we were like, what the bloody hell Nottingham Forest are doing? Year before that it was somebody else. And this year the promoted teams aren't embarrassing themselves either. Even Leeds don't look rubbish. They're not winning, but they don't look
they beat us
completely out of depth. Yeah, but most people are beating you right now. I think they've only had 1 Tonkin. I think that was Arsenal.
Yeah.
So, people keep saying that the league's got boring now. I don't think the league's boring. I think it's quite good that there's so much depth to the league that we actually have a league where anyone could beat anyone. No one really has an invincibility, and even Arsenal, to an extent, defensively they have an invincibility, but they're not scoring prolifically. It was nice to see 2 open play goals yesterday, but that's the problem that you have when you're Arsenal, when you're pretty good. People don't want to come on to you because they know they'll concede, so they sit deep and then we'll score from the free kick, because what else can we do? So if Arsenal do win the league, I'll take a ball fest all day long. If it meant winning the league, I don't care. But yeah, do you want to talk about? Are we going to do game predictions later?
Yeah, we'll do it after. We'll do it after the chat. Yeah.
All right. Do we dare talk about West Ham?
No, move on.
Are we finishing early today then?
Yeah, pretty much. No, just to confirm my allegiance. You can see my flag there. No more BS. Resign. Just resign. So it's in full force now. The petition is in full force. I think it's hit over 15,000 people, which you can actually join here, bsout.co.uk, sign the petition, verify your email address, otherwise your signature don't count. And I think enough's enough. We've just got to go and do it. But we can't keep banging the drum on it every week. But I suppose we have to mention it, so otherwise we ain't going to get any change. But But yeah, the game on Friday. What's that famous saying about insanity? Is it if you do the same thing, you'll know this. You know more about quotes. What's the quote?
I don't know. And insanity is about answering yourself.
Thanks, mate.
Insanity is the one where no, the first sign of madness is talking to yourself. The second sign of madness is answering.
No, is it if you do the same thing over and over again and expect different results? It's insanity, isn't it? And I think that's what Nuno Espirito Santo has kind of put himself into at the moment. He persisted with the inverted wing backs, and so much so that we've lost one of our most promising youngsters for an injury by him playing out of position. And that's Ollie Scarl. So he fractured his collarbone and will be out for 10 weeks, I believe. And really, he should be playing left back. It's just insane that the whole situation as to you're playing your fullbacks in the wrong position on the weak foot, and you're being exposed on the wings. And both of our goals come from crosses, because they were shown inside on their strong foot, but then they went back outside, which allowed them to get a cross in and for them to get the goal. But there's lots of issues. I think keep playing Areola. Again, I don't think he's a good keeper. I really don't. I think he's been flattered because of the defence that's been in front of him. I think when you bear in mind he's won a Junior World Cup with France, and he's had the French centre backs in front of him like Varane and Zuma and many others like Umtiti and like massive players. And then even when he was at PSG, he had the defenders there, and then when he was at Real Madrid on loan, he had the defenders there. Comes to West Ham. Even at West Ham, I think he played in front of Kurt Zuma and Dawson, Bonner. So they were good defenders in a way. And now we've got probably our worst defence that we've ever had at West Ham.
Really?
Max Kilman and Todibo, and I said this last week, we paid near enough £80 million for those guys. And you bought Gabriel and Saliba for £50-odd million for the pair.
I think it was about.
Yeah, so it's like when you think of the standard of quality.
Do you think that points? I mean that's. I don't think that's not really Nuno's fault though, is it? Like that's.
It's not Nuno's fault. No, I can't criticise him on.
And by comparison, Arsenal have clearly got better scouting. They've got backing from the owners, and that's just.
You're a law though. You've got the law.
We also have more pull. That's what I was about to say. We have better pull. Yeah. I've got at the moment Arsenal probably maybe on par with Man City, maybe even slightly better because people were turning down Man City to come to Arsenal, but probably on par with Man City for pull right now in the Premier League for the top pull in the league right now. So I think I think that goes against West Ham, but it does frustrate me because it doesn't really give us anything to kind of like banter about, because it's just like kicking a dead horse, isn't it? Like there's just no
pretty much, yeah.
There's no joy in it. There's no joy in kicking a horse, by the way. Let me just make it very clear. My wife loves horses.
No.
But to use the saying, right? There's no joy in having banter about it because it's so bad. Like it reminds me, and West Ham have been in bad places before, but it reminds me of when Arsenal were banter FC, and it just wasn't even fun anymore. Like I just stopped listening. I mean, I don't listen to TalkSport anymore, but at the time, I just stopped listening to TalkSport because every week it was just like every day it was just like banter FC and just how rubbish we were, and it was so frustrating because we didn't have the joined up thing between board to the managers to the players, and
you being a banter team is finishing 6th.
I know. I know.
So
We did finish 8th 2 seasons in a row.
Did you really?
I think so, under Arteta. I think it was 8th. We didn't get Europe twice in a row, I think. And it was like, I mean, you can imagine a club with Arsenal's kind of like stature, financial commitments, all of that type of thing, not being in Europe was absolutely shocking. Which is why I think like early doors Arteta is a little bit understated, because he had to kind of achieve what he was trying to achieve without any real draw. Thank God that we had, Gabriel there, who like bought into the project. But the first season, I think we had Leno, and Leno's a good shot stopper. Somehow Leno got injured, and we managed to get Martinez, which was like the upgrade we didn't know we needed. And then we flogged him and Paul Ramsdale. Like, it was just crazy. Like, the first couple of years were crazy. It was just madness. So, we had like Aubameyang and Lacazette giving Saka a hard time and whatever. Like, I mean, it was all banter, but it was a little bit like, borderline banter and stuff like that. Yeah. And it was crazy what the leadership at the club looked like. We threatened to, we decaptained our best captain, probably, since whoever our last best captain was, because Lacazette was not a good captain. Aubameyang was not a good captain. He was a good player. He should never have been given captaincy. We stripped Xhaka. We stripped Xhaka. Look what he's doing at Sunderland now. Like, Xhaka was the most captain we've had in donkeys.
Yeah, it was an absolute
shambles. He had Mesut Ozil like not playing, and then offering to pay Gunnersaurus his wages when he was put on furlough. Like, it was an absolute shambles. Like, it was just madness.
Yeah. No, so it is madness. Especially with West Ham at the moment. Like, we've played 9 games and we've conceded 20 goals, which is the highest at the league so far this season. We've got the worst goal difference, and we haven't been hitting the back of the net as often as we should be. We are joint second in terms of goals scored with Wolves. The worst goal scoring team at the moment is Nottingham Forest. They've only scored 5. We've scored 7. But there is, if we can manage to get a performance this Sunday and just shit out a win in any way possible against Newcastle, who have played 9 and only scored 9 goals and conceded 8 goals. So they've not been hitting the back of the net as often as they should be, considering they've got Nick Waltermade as their outlet, who I think is a fantastic striker.
He could bully your centre halves, couldn't he? Bloody hell!
Oh mate, he'll waltz for him.
He actually could. He's got a bit about him, and I like the look of him.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go on, mate. Go on.
He kind of. Do you know what he's my strike? He's my type of striker, really, because Havertz is my type of striker. Do you know what I mean? Does that make sense? And I get it. I know Havertz is not prolific, and I think Waltermade has the potential to be quite prolific. And it's lovely that Arsenal have got Gyökeres, and he runs and he pushes he's holding the ball up and he's doing all the things. But there's a reason why Thierry Henry says the best player he ever played with was Bergkamp.
Yeah.
That kind of liminal player. It's called liminal, where you kind of blur the lines and you don't know what they are. Is he a 9? Is he a 10? Does he drop back even in further than that? And that was just Bergkamp, man. And I'm not. Havertz is no Bergkamp, right? But Bergkamp was my kind of striker when I was a kid, right? I loved Henry, but Bergkamp, everyone was like the Iceman, And I have that same kind of like attachment to Havertz. I know he's not Bergkamp, but I love what Havertz does, and I love watching what Havertz does. And Waltermade, maybe not quite as kind of ballet about it, but he's got a little bit about that. He's got a little bit about him that's like that. But he's also bloody strong. you can see that he's hard. You know,
Yeah.
he gave. I watched bits of the Tottenham game yesterday, and they couldn't handle him. And when he jumps, you can't reach him.
Mm.
So, I mean, I do worry for West Ham, because if he turned, he could score a hat-trick against you at the weekend.
Yeah.
All with his head. Because now, what Newcastle have done so well is they've gone, right, we've lost Isak, so we'll stop playing a little bit of that tippy-tappy. We'll get the ball in the middle. We'll pass it out to either Gordon or is it Jacob Ramsey? And we'll just run the wings and in the box. And you could see them. They absolutely demolished Spurs yesterday. And like you said, how many Spurs conceded this year? They got 2 yesterday. And I think it was 2. I think it finished 2-0.
Yeah, Newcastle. But yeah, I'm talking about in the league. Like
no. But what I'm trying to say is that they've only conceded 7 in the league or whatever you said. They conceded 2 yesterday. And it's straight down the wings, ball in, and Walter Marde is getting more confident with it, and his positioning is getting better. And if West Ham turn up and they're a shambles, they're going to get absolutely battered, because Gordon's going to make a mockery of whoever's at right back if they don't. Because I think Gordon is
hopefully Aaron Wan-Bissaka could probably go toe to toe with him in a way. I think again Gordon's a better player, but I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka could.
I think 1-on-1, but if they're running, I think Gordon will lead it.
Yeah, I think Gordon is one of the top 10 players in European football this season that has the fastest fastest distance running. Effectively,
I wanted Arsenal. If Arsenal were going to sign a winger, that was the winger I wanted.
Yeah,
I would have taken Gordon.
Oh, he's well suited. Yeah, he's well suited.
He is, isn't he? Suited? And do you know why else? He's a defensive midfielder. He's a defensive winger as well. He can do the other side as well as go forward. A bit like Martinelli. Martinelli's really good at coming back. Trossard not so much, but Gordon can do both, and he can also play false 9.
Yeah.
Which is like Arsenal all over.
Another player that they've got that tends to be a bit of a bogey player for West Ham is Harvey Barnes. I mean, we almost signed him at one point, and then Newcastle coming and gazumped us. Newcastle coming and gazumped us for him, which was gutting really, because I thought he would have been all right. But he's had his injury issues over the past couple of seasons, which is probably a good thing for West Ham, considering how well we tend to buy injured players.
That's what's so annoying. You could have had Bowen, Barnes, Somerville, Paquetá, and then whoever playing the defensive sweep. And then you might as well have kept Antonio at this point.
Yeah, if he was available for selection, I'll pick him personally, because like I say, we're lacking the goal scoring threat. But for me, if I had to make a decision, obviously Callum Wilson isn't a preference for Nuno, even though he bit the bullet on Friday because Scholes went off injured and he needed to play a forward because we were 2 goals down. So he ended up playing him. But for me, I think Bowen's played as a lone striker before. I think he scored 20 goals one season when David Moyes operated him in that position. I think that is probably our only way of getting a goal, is putting him as the lone striker and then looking to put someone in at right wing. But then who do you play right wing? Because we ain't really got anyone. You know, it is worrying. It is worrying in that extent. But I don't know. Hopefully Sunday. I'm going to the game Sunday. Actually,
good for you, mate.
Managed to get a ticket. But mainly I'm going because after the game there's going to be a sit-in protest. So I'm going, and I will be sitting an extra half hour after the game in the seat to support the protest and that. So hopefully, if West Ham don't get battered, like if it's 4-0 at half time, then that stadium sit-in protest is not going to be worth it the way it's worth, because people will just go home and fuck it off. Hopefully, I think I'd like to. I'm feeling this is probably the most optimistic I've been as a West Ham fan this season by playing Newcastle, because I can see there's an opportunity to be got at with them.
Well, they only played last night as well, didn't they? So there's
They
that.
played last night, and I believe they've got a Champions League game next week as well.
And their squad depth isn't fantastic. I mean, I'm not suggesting, Newcastle are a decent side, but their depth isn't quite as substantial as maybe other teams in the top 6.
Yeah.
So you might. It's going to sound so bad, but you are the weakest team they're going to play this week.
Yeah.
In the next week, right? So you are the rotation fodder potentially.
Yeah, and hopefully we can take advantage of that. And they're having to travel to us as well. So you think Newcastle to London ain't a short journey, is it? So
same. It's not Monday night, isn't it?
yeah. But because it's a Sunday, it kind of softens the blow a little bit for the fan base, doesn't it? But yeah, like I say, 2 p.m. kickoff. I'm feeling quite hopeful. I mean, when we look at it, we can see 2 goals a game on average, and Newcastle score 1 goal a game. So I'd say even that deficit is quite positive for us. But we just need to hit the back of the net more often than we are. And I can predict something like Callum Wilson coming up and scoring against his old club. So it's
because he wouldn't have wanted to be released, would he? He wouldn't have wanted to be released from Newcastle.
No. And he was part of a team that won Newcastle's first trophy in 70 odd years. So he's in folklore there, and I could just imagine him scoring and then just like not celebrating sort of thing. That's
you
what
wouldn't
I'm
give a shit,
hoping
would
for
you?
anyway.
You wouldn't give a shit if he scores a goal, would you?
No, I think that I'm not his biggest fan anyway. But if he
what I
scores
mean
a
is,
goal,
it's
I'll be
like, yeah, but what I mean is, Eze scored the only goal against Palace at the weekend. He didn't celebrate. Yeah. I mean, he did his act of worship, which is fine. I know a lot of players do that.
Oh yeah.
So he did his act
Declan
of worship.
Rice does it, doesn't he?
What does Declan Rice do an act of worship? I mean, like Eze does his like Christian worship thing after he scores a goal.
Oh, right.
So he did that. That was probably the closest thing he did to a celebration, but he didn't outright celebrate his goal, which is a shame that it was against Palace because it was a really good goal.
Yeah. Palace fans are sitting there thinking, "Oh, at least you scored a banger against us."
Yeah, at least it was and it took a banger to beat them because Palace are a good side.
Yeah, Palace are good,
and it was a banger.
And that's the difference with Palace. Like Palace are a well-organised, well-structured team, and they've got a good coach that plays the formation that West Ham have been trying to play since being defeated by Frankfurt. Yeah,
but the top of the pyramid is decent there as well, isn't it?
West Ham have been trying to copy Glasner's style for the past, since we played them in the Europa League. We've been trying to copy that style for years. And when Moyes left and we built a team around Tim Steidten obviously knew of Glasner because of the German football model. And that's why we bought the players that we did, because we were trying to operate in that formation, the 3-4-2-1 formation. And
I can see that because Fulkrug is like a poor man's Mateta.
Yeah,
I can see it.
Exactly.
I get it.
Yeah.
I do get it. You haven't got the players for it, but I can see it. Yeah.
If we had Glasner as manager, it would work with the players we got, and that is the thing. And the sad thing is we've got players that don't suit that system, as the system that the manager wants to play. That's why Potter's failed. That's why Nuno. I don't think he'll do a good job. I'm still adamant on that. But the hope is.
I just don't dislike him. I just don't dislike him, and I want him to do well. I want him to do well because I like him and I like West Ham. Even with the Spurs connection, I think I like him more because of the Spurs connection because he fucks Spurs up so much. But
well, we didn't know, did he?
Even then, I don't think it was really his fault. They didn't really do a lot wrong.
They only sacked him because Conte became available, and he stalled negotiations in the summer, didn't he? So
yeah, that's right.
That's why they acted. Otherwise, he would have.
I just think he deserves better. I think he deserves a bit more grace, personally, because I just don't think. I think he's the best manager you've had. recent times. I don't think, obviously Moyes gets his grace as your trophy-winning manager, and he deserves all the legacy for that. But I think Nuno's a better manager. I really do.
I don't think he is.
That's just my personal opinion. I'm not trying to play devil's advocate. I think he's a better manager. But I also think some West Ham fans deserve their faces rubbed in it a little bit as well, because there was so much negativity about Moyes, and it has been horrific. It makes me wonder how much Moyes was bearing from the top down.
Yeah.
And was just like, I'm going to just sponge all of that. I'm just going to absorb it. Because even now, right, if you look at Arne Slot at Liverpool, he's frustrated. And his
you seen that video doing the rounds of him and Virgil van Dijk having a row or a disagreement?
No.
Apparently there was a secret camera. Apparently there was a camera secretly filming them, and apparently they had a big disagreement in his office or something.
No, I haven't seen it. Is it AI?
I don't know. I don't know.
No, I haven't seen it.
I saw it,
but he's frustrated, right? And he's almost like behaving. I know that his job is probably not under threat, right? But he's almost behaving like a manager when his job is under threat. He starts moaning and lashing out. Oh, no other team in the league has to face as many long balls as us. Well, don't play a high line, or we were playing our third team today. Well, maybe spread your funds a bit wisely then. I don't have sympathy for him, right? He's won a Premier League. He's a Premier League champion. He should be able to do better, right? He is undisputably a Premier League champion who won the league last year. And if people, we got fed this narrative last year that Liverpool were just better. It wasn't that they were lucky. They were just better. Well, if they're just better, they're better. The reality is they thought losing Trent wasn't going to be a big deal. Actually, it looks like it has been. They didn't think losing Luis Diaz would impact them that much because they were getting Vertsar and Gakpo was going to step up and blah, 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 right? Well, hang on. That doesn't seem to be going too well. And the other one is obviously, the other one is obvious, all right? We have no idea what impact losing Diego Jota has meant for that Liverpool squad, because they're in that moment all the time. And, some of those people would have loved, well, they all would have loved Jota, I'm sure. He never strikes me as a bad guy. Like, he was the type of player that was loved within his team and within the league and around the world, right? So you can't necessarily knock what kind of impact that would have. But then, you could also, on the flip side, say, but Luis Diaz has gone to Bayern Munich and is thriving. There's a lot going on at Liverpool. And Salah's not been on form. Virgil van Dijk is starting to look leggy, but he was starting to look leggy last year. Konate's fallen off the edge of the cliff. Frimpong hasn't hit the ground running, unfortunately, and he's been injured half the time. Apparently, he's out for another 6 weeks. Robertson is starting to look a bit leggy. Kirkes coming in hasn't quite worked yet. I'm sure it will, because Kirkes is a good defender, and so is Frimpong. I'm sure all these things will work. Losing Alisson would have been bad. But you know what? Arsenal had all these problems last year, and ridiculous red cards and ridiculous VAR calls. So my sympathy only goes so far, right? But to come back to the original point then, Arne Slot is starting to look like a guy who's on his way out, or he's behaving like a guy who's on his way out. How many times did that happen to Moyes?
Yeah.
And fans were calling him out as well. I've seen Liverpool fans saying that Slot needs to get sacked. They're absolutely fucking stupid. And so were the West Ham fans that are saying that we should have got, all this really negative, with the really negative stuff though. Like, I get it. Some people say, oh, it's time for a change. Now he's won the trophy. It's time for a change. Right. I can accept that. But the people who are being just dumb, Some of those West Ham fans were just being absolutely ridiculous, and I think some of them are getting what they deserve. Some of you are getting your comeuppances, because I think like David Moyes is probably historically, especially in the Premier League era, your best manager ever.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm not going to disagree with it.
I feel sorry for him, actually, because I wonder how much he disguised from the board down and managed to protect the team. Because at the moment, it looks like your team has no protection. There is so much ugly around your club. You've got the fans and the board at war. You've got the team in the middle. What's going to be affected? Team performance. So...
yeah, and that was the thing. Like that's all right. Now, when David Moyes won that trophy, there was that talk that he was going to sign a new contract, and the thing is, when you have a manager in the last year of the contract, you kind of worry for it a little bit, because it's like, is he going to down tools? Is he like, oh, I'm on my way out now, like, why should I bother? And in fairness to Moyes, the first half of the season, in that last season that he had, we were in the top four. But like around Christmas, we was in the top four. But when we knew it was coming to an end, and his new contract had been pulled because they wanted to change his role from being a manager to a head coach, to integrate a technical director in, to be able to run the recruitment and get players in to suit the style of play that they wanted to transition into. Moyes was like bartering with it, and then the ball pulled the contract from him. Now, for me personally, from a stability point of view, you should have either got rid of Moyes after we won the trophy, or you should have gave him a new contract there and then. That was my point. That was my view. I thought he probably deserved a new contract, and I think even if he got a new contract and stayed for another 3 years, I don't think that would have been a bad thing, because it would have been like, right, okay, the board are adamant that he's the right man for the job. Now we have to back him. Like, and I think because we all knew it was coming to an end, it kind of felt like, let's get him out now and look at. And I think West Ham fans got excited about what the next step could be with that post Moyes. You know, we were linked with Ruben Amorim. We had meetings with him, and then as soon as we found out he had an £8 million buyout clause in his contract, our board went, no, I ain't paying for him. If he wants to come to West Ham, he has to buy himself out of his own contract. It's like, hang on a minute, this guy has got Sporting Lisbon undefeated and won the trophy for the first time in years. Absolutely done a masterclass against Man City.
He might have ended up with Eucharist.
I mean, might have ended up with Eucharist, yeah. And it's like, it's just things like that kind of really, really pissed me off. So it's almost like, well, we got Lopetegui because he was free. He was the best option out there. Was he the best option out there? Or did he just have a good agent? You know, so it's just things like that. And when Lopetegui was signed, he done the video montage of him going around the training ground and seeing this, seeing that, meeting all the people, bumping into George Murphy, who was our most promising academy player from the last few games of Moyes' era at West Ham. He actually scored. He's coming in to do extra work, and Lopetegui's like, yeah, I like youth players, I want to use him. And then within 3 weeks, he sends him out on loan to Bristol City. It's like, hang on, you're supposed to, I thought you wanted to use youth players, and then the whole thing just kind of snowballed into disaster to what we are today. So, and that's the thing, like with Nuno, I just think he's just another yes man, and that's why when West Ham wanted Moyes out, they didn't want Moyes to be worse, did they? I don't think anyone wished that. They wanted him out to be better, and the board have failed to make a decision to make us better by appointing the right people, having the structure in place. Like, if Tim Steidten was the director at the time and he wanted a certain manager, you go and get that manager and take that money out of the budget that you're going to spend. Because if we got Amorim, we would never have got Todibo, we'd have never have got Max Kilman, you know, we'd have never got Fulkrug, because Amorim would have had more say in the recruitment process. But what do we know? We're just fans, mate, aren't we? Like, but we're led to believe that we're the stupid ones because we only just go and pay and watch the game. Like, a lot of us, what we see with our eyes, it doesn't lie. We're not stupid, and we can see a good player when we see one. We can recognise a good manager when they're good. But for them to get Nuno in, it just felt like, oh, he's free, he's available. Look at the job he done at Nottingham Forest. Oh, we're getting him in. Mate, he was sacked for a reason, because he didn't get on well with the board, and some of the recruitment process in the summer wasn't right.
That doesn't sound like a yes man, though, Adam, does it?
No, but I think Nuno now, because he's out of work and the West Ham job became available, it's like, yeah, I'll take the job. I'll do whatever you want, sir. Because he's already getting paid at Nottingham Forest, and now he's getting double bubble being West Ham manager. It just feels like, well, it's an appointment of convenience rather than an appointment of a well thought out process. Like if they went out and got Marco Silva from Fulham and paid the compensation fee for him and built a team with him, I would feel completely different, because it would be like, no, that's the person they've been chasing for a while. If he's the right person, they'll pay for him and build with him and give him that funds and
Marco
give
Silva.
him the opportunity to grow. Huh?
Would you have Marco Silva?
Would I? No, but he's the one that's been linked with. I think that's who Daniel Kretinsky, our second highest shareholder, wants. But I think, again, I just think there's better managers out there. I really do. Like,
I don't think he'd come to you. Personally,
well,
like, I'm not.
Well, he's in this last year of his contract, so if they bought him out, it'll be the last year. So
yeah, but what I mean is,
okay,
like, why would he? If he does renew at Fulham, why would he? If you had the choice between staying on at Fulham or going to West Ham, I don't see why you would choose West Ham. I just don't.
The thing is, Silva almost went to Saudi Arabia, didn't he? And then he signed a new contract. But
yeah, but West Ham aren't going to offer him Saudi Arabian money.
No, they're not. But he didn't go to Saudi Arabia, did he?
No.
Even with the money on the table.
I don't see West Ham as a viable option for him. No, I don't see why anyone.
I'm just saying. I'm just using him as an example.
The reason why I'm saying that. No. I know. The reason why I'm saying that is so what I said was, I don't see why anyone in the Premier League would go to West Ham. That's what I said, right?
Yeah.
The reason why I said that is because if you're in the Premier League, you're managing in the Premier League. Financially, you've already kind of made it, right? You're probably earning more than most managers in other leagues around the world, probably. So then, if you're already in the Premier League, you're already in like the coaches' WhatsApp group or whatever, right? Everyone's talking.
Yeah.
And you already know that you don't have to even be in that group to actually know that West Ham's a bit of a shit show. So unless you're out of work as a Premier League manager, you're probably not interested. So then your next market is decent European coaches who are available or would be willing to come, which would then incur some sort of compensation. And I think, and like you said, that's part of the problem, isn't it? If West Ham don't want to do that because, if this Sullivan or whatever is eventually going to sell up, he's going to do it on his terms. This is you basically have the same problem that Man United fans have with the Glazers. And they're not going to sell up while it's still a viable product.
No. But yeah.
I mean, I hope they do. I hope they do, because you just look so sad.
I'm like, the thing is, like, it's not that I'm even sad. It's just the inevitable. Like, people, like, we bantered about relegation and stuff like that, but you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if we did. It wouldn't surprise me if we did last year, because we know the direction the club's going, and we don't see. I think it's not sad. It's just disappointment, because
I'm not angry. I'm disappointed.
Yeah. It's like
that's our job.
That's our job. It's just because you just expect them to make a right decision. You just expect them to do something right. Like the little things with the club, right? We had our under-21 defender, Caden Casey, right? He sent him out on loan to Swansea. He turned 21 this week. Happy birthday, Caden Casey. West Ham wished him a happy birthday on Sunday. His birthday's on Tuesday. So Caelan Casey's mum replied to West Ham and said, "Thank you, his birthday's on Tuesday." 2 days later, when he's actually 21, Swansea City announced, "Happy birthday, Caelan Casey." 2 birthdays in a week. So we're getting, so like, it's just things like that. It's just the lack of foresight. Like, you're the social media person representing the club. Know who you're fucking saying happy birthday to.
I think the other thing is,
like, things like that. That's just a very, very minimal thing.
And the thing is, and if he's a promising defender, right? He's looking around going, they don't value me.
Yeah, exactly. That.
And that's
funny enough. His dad, Paul, followed us on Twitter as well.
Oh, nice. Well, hello, Paul. But like, Arsenal are really. Arsenal's Twitter, for example, is I don't follow I don't really look at the other stuff. It's mainly Arsenal's Twitter that I follow. So I don't know what goes on Instagram or anything like that. But as far as X goes, Arsenal are pretty. I mean, even like Mesut Ozil gets a birthday wish, like,
yeah,
like, so they're pretty.
Even Yaya Toure gets a birthday wish.
Yeah, Colo. But like
Yaya, because he wanted the cake, didn't he? He kicked off.
Oh, really?
But the cake. Yeah. You not hear about that story?
No, I can't remember.
It was at Man City, and he got the ump because the club didn't give him a birthday cake on his birthday.
Oh, okay.
And then all the other clubs are wishing him happy birthday, like, for a laugh.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. But Arsenal are pretty good at it. Like, I mean, they're not pretty good at it. Arsenal have an exceptional X page. Yeah, I mean, if I was a 21-year-old and I've been grafting at West Ham, I've been sent out at loan to get some minutes under my belt. I'm playing at a decent football club like Swansea, a decent football club that I could even play for. Swansea aren't a bad side. And
he played in the week against Man City and got a 7.5 out of 10 rating.
Well, this is what I'm trying to say to you. So, like, if I'm playing for Swansea, I don't know where Swansea are in the Championship, but they're always going to be there or thereabouts.
Yeah.
And then you're at West Ham, who could be relegated. Swansea puts a bid in for you. What are you thinking? And then, yeah, I mean, you're making me feel bad. You're making me feel sad.
No, the thing is, right, I was thinking about this on the way home. And sometimes me having a thoughts to myself is a dangerous thing. And I was thinking, you know what happens if we get relegated? What would our team look like? Who would go? Who would stay? Who would we build our team with?
Well, Paquetá would go for 30 million. Bowen would go for 60 because he's in the Championship now. You'd lose like maybe 15 million on Bowen straight away.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think he could probably retire. He's on a long contract, isn't he? Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he stayed that one season to try and get us up, and then get it.
Who did that? Noble. Was it Noble who did that?
No. Well, Carlton Cole did it as well. And
yeah, I mean, do you know what? One thing that West Ham does do is it does seem to breed quite an intense loyalty from players. Players staying to help bring the team back up. Like, I'll give you that. I remember when you got relegated last time. I thought, bloody hell, you kept a worldie there.
Yeah.
Didn't you come up with Darren Connolly one year? That year when you came up with Darren Connolly or whatever his name was. Was that his name? David Connolly. And the players.
That was the first season.
You came back up with some decent players, and a lot of them had stayed, if I remember correctly.
Well, it took us the second time to get up that first time round. The first time in my lifetime of being conscious of West Ham being relegated and getting promoted. That first season, we had a good enough team. We had Marlon Harewood, Rio Coker, Hayden Mullins, Bobby Zamora.
Right. Bobby Zamora, yeah.
Yeah, so we had a good foundation there.
The team you've got now.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's my West Ham. Like, if I had to connect to a West Ham team, it would be the Pardew era for me, because that was where I went and had a season ticket. I've been to 2 playoff finals. I've been to an FA Cup semi-final, watching Marlon Harewood score and stuff. I think those 2 years of that year in the Championship, well, the 2 years in the Championship really, from when Pardew took over, and we lost the final to Crystal Palace, Neil Shipley goal. Um, but yeah, that team was
That when
just that
Thingy was
team was
still in
brilliant.
charge of it. Was that when
Those,
Simon Jordan was still in charge of them?
yeah, and there's a famous story in that player final that when Simon Jordan, they were the underdogs really. We beat Crystal Palace twice that season, and we absolutely wiped the floor of them. But then they had a resurgence. They got Ian Dowie in as manager, and he basically took them back to where they belonged really. It was weird because they had Dowie as their manager and we had Pardew, and they both played for the opposite clubs that in their previous careers.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But yeah, that squad was unbelievable. That squad we had was a joke. Like even that second season, and that's what kind of made me think. Even when we went down with Avram Grant and then got Sam Allardyce in as manager to get us back up, that was a great appointment to have, and he got the right players in, and he had a law where he identified players that needed to do a job. And I thought we underperformed in that season despite going up through the playoffs, because we should have won that league. We should have easily won that league. I think it was us and Southampton that were like neck and neck, and they just pipped us. I think Reading won it. I think Reading might have won that league. Not too sure. But even if we went down now, like after this season, let's just come to the conclusion that West Ham been relegated. What would that squad look like? And I'd probably be more excited about the squad in the Championship than I would be the squad in the Premier League right now, because there's hope and promise there, and we can build that team with that academy, because we could have George Murphy and Lewis Alford in the middle of the park with Freddie Potts. I mean, that midfield instantly looks better already. Then you've got Cole Walker-Peters will probably stay, so he could be the right back. You'd have Ollie Scholes at left back. Then you've got Caden Casey, who we've just been talking about, centre half. Probably get another centre half in that could do a job. Max Kilman could probably still do a job at Championship level. You've got Madsen Manson, who is the goalkeeper, who previously won the league with Leicester in the Championship as the starting goalkeeper, and was the goalkeeper of the season, I believe, as well. And then you look at the striking force or the wings, like Somerville, he could stay. He could probably stay. And then you've got Callum Marshall, you've got Luis Guilherme that could stay, and even Jared Bowen if he stays. If Bowen could play out striker if he stays, but that's still a good squad. Going down the Championship, and I think West Ham fans will have more connection with that squad than any other squad that they've had in the Premier League era at the London Stadium. So I would be hopeful that we would go straight back up. But
are you implying then that there's a blessing in disguise there?
Yeah, I think so. I think
you
so,
could really
and I'd be all for it.
Some of your high earners, couldn't you?
Yeah,
you'd lose money on them.
But
as far as Championship money goes, you'll get your parachute payment, which
I'd rather lose money clearing the decks and building something for the long term rather than short term ambition.
It's not underneath this board.
Yeah, and I'll be for that. And then even if you dip in the Championship, like some of the players that are there are unbelievable. You've got Radoni at Coventry. You've got Thomas at Stoke.
Listen, we need to talk about Coventry. Jesus.
Yeah.
Frank
isn't it weird?
Resurgence, isn't he?
It's weird, isn't it? It's amazing what happens if you hire a good manager, right? It's something that we identified last October.
Or it's
potentially being West Ham manager to replace Lopetegui.
It's nice
when he was a free agent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care for Frank particularly, but there's something to be said about a comeback story, and his one is pretty decent because he could have. I feel bad even saying it now because it's still so early for them, but he could have ended up kind of where Rooney is really, where it just didn't work out, and now he's presenting. which there's nothing wrong with presenting, but he's only really presenting because the managing didn't work out, you know. And so he could have gone that route. And it's nice that there are legends of our time, right, who are making it as managers, and maybe the Championship is Frank's level, right? Or he might come up next year with Coventry and absolutely blow us away because it's his team with a board that he's in sync with, and blah 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 blah, right? But you know, it's nice to see successful players from our era doing well as managers. Doesn't look like Kompany's doing anything wrong. Doesn't look like
He's won 10 games in a row, isn't he?
No, doesn't look like Xabi Alonso's doing anything wrong. Arteta's looking decent. Pep played for Barcelona and was a decent midfielder, and he's obviously incredible. Who? Iriola, sorry.
He played with Lampard.
Yeah, no, I nearly said Ariola, that's why.
Yeah.
But you've got Frank, who seems to having a little bit of a resurgence. It's nice. I really hope it works out for Jack Wilshere. Like, I really, really do. He deserves to be successful because his career was robbed. You know, so like, it's nice to see players of our generation, players that we idolise, you know, and I hope they are successful managers. And I'd like to see that Frank can cut his teeth at the Premier League level, and do a good job of it. And I hope he gets.
So I was just trying to get my camera focused.
Yeah, it was a little bit unfocused there.
Yeah. The thing is, though, that with Frank Lampard, he hasn't done a bad job, though. Like, even at Premier League level, when you think, like, when you really, really think about it, at Chelsea, he got Chelsea from 12th season before to Champions League football with a transfer embargo and using the youth players. The youth players consisted of Tammy Abraham, Mason Mount, Reece James, Feko Tomori, Trevor Chalobah. You know, that it's just ridiculous. Like the talent that they had, and he built a squad around them. And I thought, you know, and that's why I thought it'd be good for West Ham, because West Ham have got, not saying they're the same quality of talent as what I've just mentioned, but he knows how to use youth players. And
it's when he spends money that he seems to fall a bit short.
Yeah, I mean, he bought. I think he bought Havertz, didn't he, for Chelsea?
Oh, did he?
That's that season after. Yeah, they bought Havertz.
And the other one, what's the other one? The winger went to Tottenham for a bit.
Oh,
went to Tottenham for a bit. Absolutely shocking, but he scored the goal that won in the Champions League. I
know what you mean.
Yeah.
Werner. Timo Werner.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So like, he got Havertz and Timo Werner in, and I think Havertz scored the goal and Werner assisted, didn't he?
Okay.
Because when they won the Champions League, Thomas Tuchel took over from Frank Lampard halfway through that season.
That's right.
But Lampard also bought Thiago Silva as well. So he ball recognises ball, right?
Yeah.
So, but even then, like, he got a Chelsea squad that was depleted and built them around the youth players because they couldn't buy anyone. Got them into Champions League football, and then Thomas Tuchel finished the job effectively. But then, even when he was appointed at Everton, right, people thought, "Why would you go there?" He kept Everton up. He kept Everton up. And it's insane to think that was a team on its.
I remember correctly, wasn't it against Crystal Palace as well? Because I remember Vieira walking across the pitch. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
it was that game, and they stayed up. Second season, he lost to West Ham, and he ended up getting sacked. But he still had an attraction to buy players. He got Onana to Everton over West Ham.
Yeah,
and West Ham were in a much better position than Everton at the time, but he still lured that player in. And that's why I thought, you know what, like, yeah, there's an history with West Ham and Lampard, absolutely. That, you know, there's the song 10 men couldn't carry fat Frank Lampard, you know, but he'd be a better manager than what we've had the past three managers, 100%. 100%. And plus, he knows what the club's about. He knows about the academy. He's a product of it himself. He's a West Ham fan. you know, and he's had his heart broken by his own fan base because of the situation that happened. But and this is one thing I want to point out while we're alive, is that a lot of the fans back then, they criticised Lampard as a young up and coming player because of who his dad was and who his uncle was, and that was Frank Lampard Senior, who was assistant manager at the time, and Harry Redknapp, who was the manager at the time. And he got ridiculed because he was basically given a gateway or a head start or whatever. And in fact, it was just his talent alone that got him into that position in the first place. And he proved it at another club by being Chelsea's greatest ever midfielder. So what's different to modern day West Ham when we've got Steve Potts, who's an assistant coach, and Freddie Potts, his son, is in the squad? Where's the criticism there? We're begging for Freddie Potts to be playing over what we got at the minute. So what's changed?
Hindsight.
Yeah, it's that. But what would happen if Freddie Potts left and went to Chelsea? Is he going to get the same criticism? And because that could happen. That could still happen, couldn't it? It's things like that, and I just think that is just baffling to me in terms of we basically forced out one of our most talented midfielders in the academy because of who his relationship were with the coaches, and yeah. I just don't see the difference in what it is to today's setup.
Yeah,
but,
fair enough.
Yeah, I'm waffling on now anyway. But
well, hang on. Before we wrap up, we've got to do something important. So
go for it.
Do you know where I'm going to?
Are you going to do your Halloween 11?
My Halloween combined West Ham Arsenal 11.
Go for it.
All right.
Let's finish the podcast on this.
Should we do one each?
No, go on. You do your lineup. Go on.
And I haven't got a whole lineup. I thought we could play off each other.
Hold on, that sounded wrong just then.
Let's do one each, or let's try and do one each. So
I've only thought of two.
All right. Well, let's start with the goalkeeper.
Go on then.
I had. So the number one would be David Screaman. And then the backup goalkeeper would be Rob Halloween. And then did I have a left back? Oh yeah, no, I had Ashley Skull. Does that work? We allowed that one.
Skull. You had Oliver Skulls.
Ollie Skulls. Left back. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Right. So we'll have Ollie Skulls, then that's fine. And then I suppose we could have had Miles Lewis Skellington as a left back option. That would have been quite good.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about these. In centre back, I'd play Ricardo Calafiori, like he's furious. That's the best I've got there. I don't think I had another centre back. Did you have any centre backs?
It was the Austrian that you had.
Luzhny?
No, he was Ukrainian, wasn't he? It was the Austrian that you had. You got him from Bundesliga. Left back or right back, I think. No. I'm going to find his name. Go on, carry on.
Squalacci, no. Austrian? Socrates?
Yeah.
No, he's Greek.
Keep going, mate. Keep going.
All right. Okay, hang on.
Oh, he might be Swiss. Actually. Hold on.
Swiss?
I'm going to say that. Lichtsteiner, isn't it?
Oh.
Stefan Frankensteiner.
Lick Frankensteiner. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, he can be the right back. I haven't got a centre back. That's a bit odd. I haven't got another centre back, which is a bit annoying.
So I was just trying to think now. Brain's ticking. Drop people, if you're watching, drop us some football related.
Max Killerman. Okay, hang on.
Drop us some football Halloween themed footballers.
Let me keep going. All right, okay. So then we could have Freddie Lim, because of limbs. Freddie Limberg.
Fucking hell, Rob.
And then Jared Bow and Arrow. Can I have that?
Okay. Got no choice but go.
Emmanuel, it wasn't me, it was Patricia. Come on, you got to know what that's from.
Oh, mate, how could you not get this one? This is quite easy for a centre back. Tony Adams' family.
Yeah, that's good, that one.
Yeah, see?
Lee Booyah.
Booyah.
He could play the centre of midfield with Emmanuel. It wasn't me, it was Patricia.
Sofian
up front, who?
Sofian Faguli, as in like Ghosts and Ghouls.
Oh yeah, no, that's your one, wasn't it? Yeah.
Marlon Scarewood.
Marlon Scarewood, that's a great one. Does there have any others? Ian Fright.
Ian Fright. Oh man,
that's good. That one, I like that one.
Yeah, he's good. That is good.
Ian Fright.
Just trying to.
Ian Fright. Ian Fright. Thank you.
Is there any other ones we could think of off the cuff?
I'm trying to think.
Brain's ticking. Is that? I was trying to think of the key words. There's like mummy. You've got Dracula.
Freddy Krueger.
Jason X. Yeah.
Ed Gein. He's pretty scary.
Ed Gein. Jimmy Savile.
No, you can't. Don't ruin it. Right, okay.
Jamie Redknapp. Jamie Redknapp. Oh.
All right. Should we call it a day?
Right, mate. Yeah, let's call it a day. Oh, quickly, what's your score predictions?
Oh, yes. Did you know that?
Sorry, this is where I think if West Ham win on Sunday and then you do us a favour, I think the fixture next between West Ham and Burnley could be a decisive point in the season where the table starts to get flipped. So we could get, if we win 2 on the bounce, that's probably when we start seeing us get more out of a relegation battle and start to push on. But go on, after you.
Okay, well, Dubravka's statistics are exceptional. Among the top goalkeepers in the league, actually, for performance, even though maybe the table doesn't necessarily reflect that. So I think it will be a tough game because I think defensively Burnley will be very well organised, and I think Dubravka is having a very good season. I still think Arsenal will win. I don't know. This is the type of game where Arsenal could play these, all these different teams and not concede goals, and this is the type of game where Arsenal could be sloppy. So I think that Arsenal will win 3-1. And I think we will concede on the first game in November. I think we will win it. I think we'll win comfortably because I'm just not sure they'll have enough threat going forward. I think that Arsenal will dominate them and they'll dominate the play. And I think will be too much for Burnley.
Yeah, I'm hoping that you tonk them, so I'm going to go 4-0.
Okay, fair enough.
Please.
Yes. On the flip side, I do think Newcastle will tonk you, and I think it will be 3-1.
Okay. I've been too real with my predictions. I'm going to go with my optimist hat on, optimist vision, and I think we're going to win 1-0, and Callum Wilson's going to score. And I hope that is the start of us starting to shit out some results to get us out of the situation that we are, because we should have really picked up a point at least against Brentford, and we should have really picked up a point at least against Leeds, and we got neither. But I think if Nuno continues to play inverted fullbacks, I think we'll be in trouble. But hopefully he's learned from his lessons and plays players in the correct positions. So yeah.
Okay.
So 3-1 and 3-1. Is that right?
I said 3-1, yeah.
Yeah, 3-1 to both games.
Yes.
Right, okay. I'm saying 4-0 to Arsenal and 1-0 to West Ham.
There you go.
Okay, brilliant. All right, then, no worries. We'll see you next week on the next episode of Dad's Our Job podcast. This has been Adam. That's been Rob. And thoughts and prayers go out to Callum as he's mosh pit into McBusted.
Air guitar.
Air guitar. See you later on. Dad's Our Job.
Oh, Lord, I'm a cheer, and we spill a bit of beer. Raise a glass to the past and the mates who ain't here. From Highbury to Upton Park, it's now Ashburton and Stratford for a lark. It's the old Dad's Our Job podcast, the heart of the game.